Hi, my name is Steve Watkins and welcome to my shop. More importantly, welcome to my new revamped YouTube channel. Now, I've had a channel for a number of years, but I didn't put much effort into it because frankly most of the things I was doing were covered by other channels much better. It takes a lot of effort to film the video, to edit the video, put it up, and then take care of the comments and things. And frankly, I was working a lot and just didn't have the time. I retired in December of this year, semi-retired. I still do automatic gate entrances and things like that for people, but most of the heavy-duty construction work I've done for years is over with. Thank God. Well, I have some more time to put into this channel, and that's what we're going to do. Our first project is going to be, well, frankly, my shop. Over the years, I've used it to support my construction business, and frankly, it's always been hurry up, clean stuff off, make a space for something to get done, and then leave to go back to the job. Well, I've run out of space to put things. I'm tired of putting 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound box. So some of the very first projects I'm going to show you is hopefully a way to organize the shop better. This is my shop. It's a 60 by 40 building that we do a little bit of everything in. Mainly it's going to be me from now on. My poor shop is divided basically into the dirty section. Let me turn this around where I can see. As you can see, I have stuff scattered everywhere. Right now we're working on a stone fireplace. My wife wanted one, so we're going to make her one. As you can see, we tried to cram everything in here, from air conditioners that we need to repair to old gate openers over there. One of my first projects is going to be finding a place to put all of my wood and steel pieces. This here is the main area of my shop, and I've learned over the years that you have to put everything on wheels, from my planer to the workbenches to almost everything in the center of this area is on wheels. We have a cabinet saw over here, grinders, diamond grinders, just about everything we need. A lot of machine tools in the background over there. Sandblaster, heat treating oven. Just a big mess right now. As we go on through, I'm going to show you a few other things that are coming up on the channels. And this is going to be something that I enjoy doing. There's a reverse view. That door is a 14-foot high door. The ceilings in here are 20 feet tall at the peak, and it has that little mezzanine there. We have some safety chains here and there where things are going to possibly fall. I want to get all of that stuff out of the way. Another thing that we're going to be doing soon, in fact, it's probably going to be one of the first things we do, is take care of a little safety issue. This stairway goes up to the mezzanine, where I have a lot of stuff stored and some space that can be utilized better. First thing we're going to do is put up a handrail along the mezzanine and a handrail on that stairwell. Stairwell also needs to have a few things fixed, like a easier way to raise and lower it. Right now, I have a unit that takes it up and makes it go up flat this high, and it works well. It's just another one of those things that needs to be finished, that never got finished. So, we're going to fix some racks. I have some ideas to make a handrail / storage rack going along there. And I also want to put in a jib crane so that we can lift materials up to the second floor easily. And hopefully, about half that stuff up there can go away now. I've got all kinds of things left over from different jobs, plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, that frankly, I'm just not going to need for a long, long time, if ever. So, we will see. As I said, this is our dirty section. This is my dual bandsaw. It's got a hydraulic table on it. Back in the corner we have a Quincy air compressor, and that little thing right there is an air dryer. Coming up, some new welding with the new HTP TIG unit. This is what I call the dirty room. Sawdust, welding, grinding, things like that happen out here. But then we also do things like these are some new doors I had to build for my wife's cabinets. I'll take you into the machine room. This area was originally going to be the woodworking area, but I've had to convert it into a climate controlled room that all my machine tools won't rust in. This room's not too bad. I have a number of projects going on right now that are kind of laying scattered around, but hopefully we'll have some time to fix that. This is a Bridgeport Torque Cut 22 CNC mill that I bought. I spent about 3 months repairing it all, and it does run and works well. Over here is one of the finest lathes ever built. It's an Axelson. It's a 16 by 30, and it runs very, very well. I don't have three-phase out here in the country, so I have to make my own. That's the electrical setup. Outside there's a 20-horse motor that I use to convert single-phase to three-phase. Also do a lot of planing projects here. This is a 1954 Rockford hydraulic planer. Got this from a kind gentleman in Kansas. I spent about 6 months rebuilding it, and I use it for a variety of things, mainly straight edges. A friend of mine, Richard King, has scraping classes, and his company and family have made straight edges for years. So we plane them. Every year we also have a scraping class here. In February, people from all over the world show up, and he teaches the fine art of hand scraping. If you don't know what hand scraping is, all of these planes, all of these straight edges are manufactured by him, but they're in a rough condition. And we take and we grind them and plane them and then turn them into a fine finished instrument. This one's already started being scraped, and when we're finished it'll be flat to within a 10,000th of an inch over this area. This is a reference granite plate. We have some other things that we're going to be doing coming up. This is a Brown & Sharp number 13 cylindrical grinder that I'm working on right now. I've got the belt out of it right now, and a friend's making a new one. As soon as it comes back, we'll put it in and do a little more maintenance work on it, but we should be good to go. Back here is just some assorted machinery. That right there is the hydraulic pump for this planer. Over here we've got a Monarch 10EE that's being worked on. A friend of mine bought it at an auction. Unfortunately, it's been crashed. It's cracked the apron, and the spindle is pretty much destroyed for accuracy purposes. Well, I'm kind of waiting to see what we're going to do on this one. But when we do it, we'll film it. It's a slight tour of the tool room. And I have the original tool room on the other side of this wall. Lift you up there. I know you don't. I don't know if you guys like mechanical items such as telescopes. This, I'm ashamed to say, is one of my better telescopes I've ever built. People who work for me put my telescope out on the back porch of the house we were building, and it has truly almost destroyed it. But I built it and I can refurbish it. This is a horseshoe mount. Kind of hard to see. It's a weird contraption looking, huh? When I built it back in the 90s, I didn't have much money. I had a small garage workshop, a lathe, a mill, and a desire to have more telescopes. Well, I couldn't afford them, couldn't afford the motors, so I had to build them. This telescope was kind of revolutionary in its design at the day. Let me move it over. Follows the rotation of the Earth by aligning this axis up with the North Star, and then the motors drive it in time with the Earth, so the star stays in the center of the vision, or the field of vision. This was an invention I had. At the time, stepper motors were just being used. I mean, they hadn't flooded the market like they have today. And my problem was trying to get a motor and gear that would follow this, will drive this axis so that it, I got to figure out what I want to say here. Follow this axis of rotation. You're talking a very, 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 very slow speed, like one rotation per 24 hours. This was my effort to save about $800 at the time, and I used a small, inexpensive stepper motor to drive this mechanism so that this computer in this box here, I'm going to do another video on this to show you better. How's that? Anyway, one more place we want to go is also in drastic need of some help, and that's the original machine room that I have. This room is also climate controlled, and over the years has just become a big catch-all. Screw storage. Back over there is my first Kennedy toolbox I ever built. kind of soured over on them the last 10 years, and right now I buy the big silver ones from Lowe's. They seem to work better than my Kennedys. Now, Kennedys, back in the days, if you didn't have a Kennedy box, you were nothing. So I have my Kennedy box, and we keep other things in here. Got a Bridgeport that a friend of mine had a machine shop here in Navasota, and he retired, and I bought this. It didn't have a motor that would run, and he was an interesting guy. He is a very, very good machinist. In fact, he built some parts for the spacesuits for the Apollo missions. He's a very nice guy. I bought this. It came out of a rubber shop that he owned, and he used it for making molds for the rubber. It was covered in carbon black. About 3 man days with 2 people working went into getting it as clean as it is now. We'll be tearing into the head in an upcoming episode, trying to find out why it's clicking. You hear that, and you move the spindle up and down, something's not right inside. Got a little old surface grinder over there. It works fine. And here's going to be one of our projects that come up soon. This is a Camelback drill that has been really abused in its life. I found this in a muffler repair shop over in Orange, Texas. Brought it home, and we're going to do some work on it. It's got an auto feed for it. The table is off of it, and I have it sitting in the sandblaster, but they've really done a number on it. I have a new motor for it, and you can see the hacked out plate that they're using to mount a motor on before. I mean, I'm not really happy with it. I think it puts a lot of strain on the castings. So we're going to be taking that motor and coming up with a way to mount it above that pulley. Put new belts on it. The interesting thing is this was cracked here. I don't know how good you can see that weld, but that looks really nice to me. They really blended that in well. Another thing we need to do is figure out this 2-speed system that goes inside there. I haven't seen any plans or any description of it, so I've got to do a little detective work. But we'll make all the new parts for it. It's got a belt that goes from here to here for the automatic feed system. And this chain here goes into a counterweight. I'm really seriously considering sending this thing over to a friend of mine at a fab shop that has a large sandblaster outside, and just go ahead and sandblast the frame before we start. I don't know what they did with the column down there, but it's kind of rusty also. Anyway, we'll get to it. Well, that's a tour of my shop. You can see it's disorganized and it really needs some help. So, in the upcoming year of episodes, we're going to try to make it better. Just got to find the time.